Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse. Now let's continue on with day 3.
Alright, we're about 4 blocks down from the police station, and I know there's not a lot of evidence at this point, but this is the location where Jack Ruby's nightclub was. It was called the Carousel Club, and let's be honest, it wasn't a nightclub, it was a strip club. He didn't do very well with money, and as a result always seemed to be in debt, but this is where the club used to be before it was torn down and became whatever this prison-looking building is here. This building has all the personality of a prison, doesn't it? But yeah, this is where it is. Let's go across the street and take a closer look. So I don't know what it is. Looks like it's an AT&T building, but they're also talking about it being some sort of an educational building, but it's still clearly under construction. In fact, when you get to the other side of it, you can see that there's still a lot of construction going on here. Across the street from this cool old hotel here. Gotta love some of the architecture around here. Holy cow, look at that. This is one of the problems you run into when you walk around in a big city like this. You don't look up. To AT&T Plaza. Yeah, you can see where the construction's going on now. Yeah, downtown Dallas is actually a beautiful area if you actually look up. Alcohol-infused ice cream. Where have you been all my life? A shot in every scoop. Get dizzy. So this is 106 South Harwood Street. This used to be the Dallas Police Station. This is the building where Oswald was assassinated by Jack Ruby, down in the basement. Basically, he'd spent 2 days here in the jail cell and being interrogated, and during that time he had confirmed that he had returned to that he had worked at the Texas Book Depository, had been there, had met with the police officer in the second floor cafeteria when he was trying to buy a Coke. He admitted to going home. He admitted to picking up the .38 revolver and changing clothes, but he denied that he owned the rifle that was used in the murder, and he denied murdering either Kennedy or Officer Tippett. While he was 2 days later, on the 24th, he was being brought through the basement of this building to be transported to county jail a few blocks away from here. And Jack Ruby was in the room when he was being transported and basically just pulled a gun and shot him in the gut. On Sunday, November 24th, detectives were escorting Oswald through the basement of the Dallas Police Headquarters towards an armored car that was going to take him from the city jail on the 4th floor up there to the county jail nearby. At 11:21, Dallas nightclub owner Jack Ruby approached Oswald from the side of the crowd, shot him once in the abdomen at close range. As the shot rang out, police detectives suddenly recognized Ruby and exclaimed, "Jack, you son of a bitch!" An unconscious Oswald was taken by ambulance to Parkland Memorial Hospital, the same hospital where Kennedy was pronounced dead 2 days earlier. Oswald died at 1:07 p.m. The autopsy report indicated that the bullet entered the left front part of his abdomen, caused damage to his spleen, stomach, aorta, vena cava, kidney, liver, and diaphragm, and the 11th rib before coming to a rest on his right side. Now, I read that the officer who was escorting Oswald said that if the bullet hadn't been stopped by Oswald's rib, it probably would have entered his stomach and caused damage to him too. Now, I'm going to go see that this place is apparently a law center now, not no longer a city police station. So I'm going to go see if I can get in there, and let's see if we can go find the place. Now here's a memorial plaque right across the street from the building that acknowledges that this is the building where Oswald was shot. So apparently they're building a museum that's being under construction right now, and there's a question whether I could come in here, but I've got someone that's going to actually take me up to one of the offices and maybe ask if I can get in here. While we were in here, though, he pointed out that this is the prisoner elevator that Oswald would have ridden down in, so that was kind of cool. Yeah, apparently my information was wrong. Oswald wasn't kept in the 4th floor. He was kept on the 5th floor. And this is actually the prison cell he was in. So that's very, very cool. Apparently the 4th floor was the floor where his mugshot was taken. And I guess I'm going to get to go down and see that too. Okay, this keeps getting better and better here. This is the actual cell that Lee Harvey Oswald was held in. Apparently when this gets opened up, no one else is even going to get a chance to come in here and see this. But since it isn't open yet, they've allowed me in to see it. There were 3 cells back here, 1, 2, and 3. And Oswald was in cell number 2. So this is where Oswald spent 2 days. Very cool in here, right? Yeah, this place is probably about 8 feet by 8 feet. Looks like it probably housed 4 people. I don't know if there were 4 people in here at the time. Probably not. Yeah, so now we're back on the 4th floor here, and this is the actual location where Oswald was had his mugshot taken. And there's actually the images right there. Him being held by the police officer. And I'm guessing those electrical outlets there are probably original, the plates from there. That's very cool. Witness to history for years, police officers escorted prisoners to the 4th floor, home of the Dallas Police Department mugshot wall. Bright lights framed the seated suspect captured moments for history. 2 mugshots taken here in 1963 serve as haunting reminders of the events that unfolded in November. Both Lee Harvey Oswald and Jack Ruby had their iconic photos shot here. That's very cool. Okay, it's a little dark in here, but this is supposedly the area right here where the shooting took place. Oswald was was on his way out to the parking garage, and they built this new wall here, but these are apparently all original for the area. And this is where it actually happened. This is kind of the shot where Oswald and the police officer would have been coming in this direction, and Jack Ruby would have come on from this side. And shot him in the abdomen. So this is amazing. I actually got to see this. This place, like I said, is still under construction. So I kind of have to be careful where I walk around. They don't even have lights in here. Oh man, I am stoked beyond reason that I got to actually see that. That prison cell, you know, you're gonna have to look at that through glass like I did initially. Nobody is gonna get to go inside of that. So that is exclusive to me. You're never gonna see that anywhere else. And he took us into the garage where Oswald was shot. We saw the mugshot wall. That is amazing. So I got to definitely give a shout out to my new best friend in the world, Ford, for making that happen. That was amazing, because when I went in there originally, they said, yeah, they're kind of making it into a museum right now, and you're not going to be able to do that. You're going to have to come back at some other point. And they said, so where are you staying? And I said, well, I live in Waco. And they said, oh, okay, well, let me take you upstairs and I'll show you a couple things. And it just went from there. So, wow, I'm stoked that I got all that. Okay, so here we come to the end of our story. Here's the final resting place of Lee Harvey Oswald. Now, I find it interesting that all over his markers there are these little red, there are all these little wooden hearts with the word love all over them. And they're kind of all spread around the marker. There's obviously some significance to that. Probably somebody brought them out and placed them on the marker. But they're just even on the grass around the marker. Now, I did find something interesting also, that the grave right next to Lee Harvey Oswald is Nick Beef. I was trying to figure out what that was all about, and when I dug into it on Find a Grave, I found out what the story was. Apparently, initially, this cemetery would not tell anyone the location of where Lee Harvey Oswald was buried. So a comedian bought just a fake headstone. There's no one buried here, and told people that if you wanted to find out where Lee Harvey Oswald was, go into the cemetery and ask where Nick Beef was buried. And he was buried, and Oswald was buried right next to him. Turns out the cemetery got wind of that too, and now if you ask where Nick Beef is buried, they'll say there's no Nick Beef here. But yeah, that's what that's all about. But here's the original Oswald, where Oswald is buried. Now, apparently there was originally a headstone that said, his full name and birth and death date and that, but apparently that was stolen. So it's just been replaced by just a simple one that says Oswald. Now, you may have noticed on this whole thing, I've really kind of stayed away from the conspiracy theories because there's just a ton of them surrounding what was going on here. I decided I really wanted to focus on just the three major characters involved in this, which were Kennedy, Oswald, and Ruby, and kind of tell their stories at least as officially as I could, and kind of follow the path of their lives. So if you feel the need to discuss the conspiracy theories, feel free to do it in the comments section, but that's why I didn't really touch on the subject here. So this concludes my video on the JFK assassination. I hope you found this interesting and informative, and maybe that I provided a little bit of insight into this that you've never seen before. So as always, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I will see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.